and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for A Whisker Away. Oh, hello. So A Whisker Away is from Studio Colorado. They gave us films like Penguin Highway, Burn the Witch, and the upcoming Pokemon Twilight Wings, so I'm kind of excited about that. It's also animated by Toho and Twin Engine. A girl falls in love with a boy from her school and transforms into a cat to get close to him, but these choices come with consequences, and eventually the line dividing cat and human becomes vague. I actually really liked this anime film. I wasn't sure what to expect with this studio because I haven't seen a lot of their work, but when I saw a little bit of the trailer I was hoping it was going to be Studio Ghibli-esque, and it is that, but I feel like it's almost two films. So you follow this protagonist, this young lady who's totally besotted with a young guy in her class, and she does everything to make him notice her. Notice me, senpai!
Hi! Notice me, please!
But at the same time, she has, I guess, varying difficulties at home between her father and his new girlfriend and her mother. There's this very broken relationship, family life. At the same time, there is a juxtaposition where you see who she really likes and his family and kind of what they're going through. And so you have this turmoil of life, almost like a slice of life drama bit of storyline. And then in amongst that, you have this weird law of putting on the mask that turns you into a cat. And the cat storyline, the magic and the lore really dries up in the last half an hour. But the first hour of this film is totally about the love story and the weird juxtaposition between when she's a cat and how the one that she's so besotted with, liked her in cat form but doesn't really like her at school. And I've seen a lot of people saying that the worst thing about this animated film is that the female protagonist isn't likable. But I think maybe you've missed the point of the female protagonist. The whole point of her character is why she's so loud and so upfront and almost obnoxious is that is a face, and you get to see that unravel towards the end of the film. You understand why she's putting on that persona because of the brokenness of her family life and the brokenness of what's going on there, and because she's such a young age, it's hard for her to kind of deal with those emotions and know what's right and wrong in that situation. So she has this persona, and I think so many of us can relate to that kind of fake persona that sometimes you put on to protect yourself. It is a protection mechanism. So I really like that they delve into both sort of family lives, and you get to see it from different perspectives, from cat, from human, and you get to see also a different kind of storyline that I wasn't expecting. It's a little side story on with a little cat, and I really like that. I have to say I preferred the last half an hour of the film, mostly because when it gets into kind of the magic and the lore of the cat story, I thought that was fantastic. Some of the animation you see there, almost in the cat world, a lot of fun to behold. But that's not to say that the drama, the first hour drama love story, isn't well told, isn't well animated. It was very interesting to me how they were kind of mixing in that storyline and how they were showing family life and the brokenness of that one, and then mix that with almost a schoolgirl love. She's kind of put her issues aside and kind of focusing on, because that's the only thing that she thinks is good in her life. So when she meets this boy, that's what she wants to do with her life. She wants to, be with this guy because everything else seems to be crap to her. At the same time, she doesn't recognize there are people that care for her. Her best friend is always looking out for her. Her family actually do care for her. And so you have a view of life from her perspective, and then you have a view of life from their perspective. And I think they show that very well in story. You can't do a review on an anime without talking about the animation and the score. Talk about the score first. I think it's, for the most part, very good. It really helped me put me into the mood of what I was watching. It's very rich in texture, in tones, if that makes sense. It helps me go into the kind of fantasy. So it has a fantasy-esque nature to the music and score, even though sometimes there's not a lot of like magical stuff happening. It feels very fantasy-like, which I really liked. But then when it comes to the somber tones of the drama, it also really helps kind of move the story and plot along, which I really appreciated. The animation I thought was very good. There weren't many times when I went, oh, that looks like it has less frames than others. I feel like they've put a lot of work. The studio, you can just see, if in their previous titles, if you've seen any of them, you'll know that they're pretty good at what they do. Well, the production company, the Studio Colorado, with Toho Animation, are well known to be good at what they do, and Twin Engine, I believe, are good at what they do. I liked the color palette and the color tones that they did with that. It does change according to the tempo and tone that they're going for. If you are a person that loves to watch dubbed animated stories, then you're going to have to wait a bit because of COVID. Netflix are struggling to get that English dubbing. It always takes a lot longer now when we get these animation series, these anime films. It takes a lot longer to get the various dubbings in different languages. So for now, you're going to have to read the subtitles. I always suggest reading the subs because you get that nuance in the acting through the voice inflections, the way they're able to portray emotion in voice, I feel like is more authentic in the original language. And then you read what's actually going on unless you understand the language. So I thought that was very good. All in all, I think it's a very well put together project. I do think it does get a bit long in the tooth. That first hour of Drama Llama was good, but I really thought they were wrapping it up, and I didn't know like how they were going to wrap it up. And then we get this half an hour fantasy ride at the end, which I thought was very fun, and I'm glad they finished it that way. But I thought it did drag a little that's not a word, a little bit. I felt like they could have taken out some of the padding, some of the drama. We knew where it was going. We knew the theme of the story, of what they were trying to say, that, you know, your life is worth something, don't just throw it away. All of those themes that they're going for, that often anime films try to show, especially in these type of anime films, it's there, but you get it long before it starts becoming a bit long in the tooth, as I was saying. So had it been slightly shorter, I think the tempo of it would have been better. You would have maybe not clock watched. I clock watched a couple of times. I still really enjoyed it, so I'm going to give this a B+. Let me know in the comments below. Were you excited to watch this film, this anime film? Are you excited to see what the studio does with Pokemon? I am. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this review. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.